Welcome back, everybody. My name is Jacob, aka Star Wars Collective, and this is the Hyperspace Hangout, episode number 4 to be exact. So, welcome in, everybody, to the stream. Welcome. I am streaming to you tonight on a snowy evening. Winter's making its last stand here, so hopefully the stream stays stable the entire time and we don't run into any lagging or cutting out or glitching or any issues like that. So, yeah, with that being said, thank you to everyone for joining the Hyperspace Hangout. I am your host, Jacob. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and check in with chat here. We got Juan Marquez in here. Yoda. Mr. Yoda. And speaking of Yoda, I have Yoda right here. Hello. Thank you for joining me. That's my Yoda impression. We also have Eternal Mother here. Hello, Mama. Appreciate you joining in the stream tonight and hanging out with us. So yeah, hopefully everyone's doing well. We have episode number 4. Can't believe it's episode 4 already. And hopefully at 5 o'clock, it's 5 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. Hopefully this is a good time for you to check in and hang out during the live stream. Maybe a little bit early for some folks. Technically on the East Coast, it is already 8 o'clock. So I know some people stream really late. So if you like this time, let me know if it's good for you. If you'd like maybe a little bit of a later stream, I wouldn't mind pushing it maybe to 7 o'clock at times. PST, so that would be closer to 10 o'clock Eastern time. So anyway, just a thought. It's only episode 4, still trying to figure out everything here and get a good flow going. So I was streaming on Thursday nights originally, but there were 2 big Star Wars kind of streamers that were streaming Thursdays. So one of them was Hyperdrive, a Star Wars channel, and the other one was Brother Cousin's Toy Reviews, and they're both pretty big. So anyway, thanks for hanging out on a Friday night. Hopefully this is a good night for you to catch some Star Wars streaming. And we still got 2 people here in the chat. Appreciate you 2 for being here and hanging out tonight. Again, just wanted to welcome you to the Hyperspace Hangout live stream. Thank you for tuning in while the stream is live. And to those who are going to catch the replay, appreciate you for catching the replay. And while you're at it, don't forget to like the video and leave a comment if you feel so inclined. Cool. Well, we got 3 people in here. Hopefully everyone is doing well and having a good one on their Friday night. We are going to be going over some different segments here on the Hyperspace Hangout tonight. We will do the classic Rebel recap where we go over the Star Wars Black Series news, leaks, whatever you want to call that. Got some cool stuff, some stuff that we've seen in the past, but a couple new things that is really cool. We're going to be going over a list of rumors to see what is going to be coming up in the later half of 2025. I think a lot of the stuff that's already been announced is going to be released early spring or late spring, early summer. So maybe we'll be able to check out what's coming later in 2025. We will also be doing a segment talking about the Black Series debate, removable helmets or alt heads on figures. What do we like? Do we like alternate head sculpts, or do we like figures that come with removable helmets? I think that'll be a fun Black Series debate. So that's going to be another segment. Our meat and potatoes tonight is the Star Wars movies ranked. So we will be ranking all 9 of the Star Wars movies, excluding Rogue One and Solo, just the trilogy. And that will be ranked with help from the live chat. So that's going to be really awesome. Can't wait to do that with you folks. And then we'll finish the stream off with some recent pickups after we've ranked the Star Wars movies and some Tatooine talk at the very end. So yeah, that's kind of going to be a breakdown of the show. We've got Gen X Brian Myers here. Evening, Jacob. Evening, Brian. Appreciate you for coming in the stream and hanging out tonight. It means a lot. Hope you're enjoying your Friday over there. I know Brian's favorite Star Wars movie already. I know what his favorite pick is going to be. So can't wait to see what everyone else is gonna choose for their favorite Star Wars movie. So, with that being said, we've got 4 people in here. Let's get a little bit into the Hyperspace Hangout episode 4 Rebel recap. So, we're going to be covering some Black Series news here. So, let's go ahead and pull up our first slide. We have the Revenge of the Sith Tactical Operation Trooper, aka the 501st Clone Trooper. This is going to be coming in the classic 2005 throwback Revenge of the Sith packaging. And I'm very glad that this is making a comeback for the 20th anniversary of Revenge of the Sith. Technically, you can still get this figure out there on the market. I believe in an archive line, if I'm not mistaken. But I do believe that this newer release, I think, is going to be on the updated 2023 clone body. Correct me, someone in the chat, if I am wrong there. But that is going to be pretty exciting. These guys played a very big pivotal part in Revenge of the Sith. They were the ones that executed Order 66 on the Jedi Temple with Anakin Skywalker, right? Took out all the Jedi for Darth Sidious, and so yeah, they're pretty iconic, and they have been. Brian says it should be on the new clone body. Thank you very much, Mr. Brian, for updating us with that there. And yeah, they're just iconic characters. This could be a troop builder, you know, if they did release an updated Revenge of the Sith Anakin, maybe like a dark side Anakin, these guys would go perfect. You know, a line of 2 or maybe 4 behind him on your shelf would be really, really cool. So Archive 501st doesn't have removable helmet. Gotcha. Okay, so that is the big difference actually between the one that I just mentioned, the archive line, and this new one coming out. So thank you, Brian, for bringing up that point there, that the old one doesn't have a removable helmet. So again, we'll get into this debate in a little bit here, if you prefer removable helmets or if you prefer alternate head sculpts. So anyway, I do think that that's interesting that the older version has no removable helmet, like Brian was saying there. So, chat, is this going to be a pickup for you? This went on pre-order, I believe, yesterday at the Walmart Collector Con. Well, it was shown off at the Walmart Collector Con event, but it went on pre-order on Walmart yesterday. So did you guys pick this up, chat? If you did, I'd like to know. I ended up passing on it for now. Just trying to save up for some other things here in life. I haven't been spending a ton of money on figures. My recent pickups is pretty small. So anyway, we'll get into that later in the episode. So chat, are you picking this up or are you passing on the 501st? And here's another look at the 501st Trooper there. He looks like it's got some awesome weathering up on the very top and up on the helmet. Can't tell if there's much weathering here on the legs at all, but it does look like a fantastic trooper. Out of all clone troopers, this is one of the cooler looking ones. I think this one and the 187th Legion Mace Windu are awesome. Yep, Brian's going to grab one to keep on card. Very nice, Brian. Very cool. That Revenge of the Sith packaging is epic. So, very cool. Very, very cool. Okay, next up is the Jedi Temple Guard figure. This, I think, is an awesome addition to the line whenever this does come out. Again, probably sometime in the later half of 2025 at this point. But here's another look at the leaked photos of the tunic and the belt. You can see that the High Republic kind of logo does match the High Republic logo on the character here in the photo. So that with his hood, and you can't see, there's his hood on the kind of top middle. You can't see his belt in the photo, but it looks just like this belt here in the leaked photo. So I think that's pretty cool. I think this is definitely a pickup. The Jedi Temple Guards look awesome, especially if they come with their dual-bladed lightsabers or lightsaber staff or something like that. Definitely would be a pickup for me. I don't know about you, chat, but I would grab maybe even a couple just to have as representation. Maybe one is like a desk figure, one is a shelf figure, or like just a couple guarding the outsides of the wall of the shelf or something like that. That would be pretty sweet. So Jedi Temple Guard is going to be coming. Expect that again. I would assume later half of 2025, but we'll have to wait and see on that there. And next up we have for Rebel Recap is, again, we just kind of talked about it, but these are the remaining figures for the Walmart CollectorCon event kind of like release thing. So these are now all available on Walmart's website. Kit Fisto and the 501st Trooper went online for pre-sale yesterday, and Count Dooku and R2 went on sale today. So you can check those out. Oh, it looks like it was at 10 a.m. I forgot I already added that in the notes. So check out that. That's going to be awesome to have those in the figure representation form. I know that they're re-releases, but they're getting pretty high on the aftermarket as far as cost goes. So, and Brian says he's probably going to get 2. 1 to rock, 1 to stock. Absolutely. Very nice. So eventually, if the pre-orders don't sell out, I'll probably end up snagging Kit Fisto and Count Dooku. He's awesome. Super, super cool. And the next up on the list here is the new Chancellor Palpatine and Mace Windu head sculpts. It looks like we are going to be getting the Chancellor Palpatine prior to the battle with Mace Windu. And we also saw another version that is going to be kind of the post battle with Mace, which is more scarred version of his head. So that's pretty cool. I love that we're probably going to be getting alternate heads in maybe this 2-pack, one with Mace and with Chancellor Palpatine. That would be pretty awesome. And if you can see in the bottom right of the picture there, it is Chancellor Palpatine in his red robes that you see in Revenge of the Sith. So really iconic outfit. I think this is going to be an amazing pack, or if it's going to be single release, then amazing single release. But we'll have to just wait and see on that. And I'm sure we have 2 people in here that Brian is going to be picking up this stuff as well. I am going to definitely be snagging this. I'm assuming it's going to be a 2-pack, but we will have to just wait and see on that there. So really cool scene, very, very iconic. Mace Windu totally would have beaten Chancellor Palpatine. Mace Windu would have beaten Chancellor Palpatine if it wasn't for Anakin coming in and disrupting things, right? So hoping single release Palps. Yeah, I know, because I do have a Mace Windu already. I have the Clone Wars Mace Windu, so I don't need another Mace. So I think a single card release would be awesome, Brian. That's a very good point, actually. Okay, cool. So definitely going to be snagging that. That's going to be amazing. The next thing that we have is a list. So this is going to be a list of Black Series rumor figures. And I believe this was from Yak Face, if I'm correct. I can't remember actually where I got it from. But I know it's a little small here, the PDF file at least. But we have, I'm not going to read all of them. We have such characters being released as Barriss Offee. We have the 327th Star Corps clone trooper from Revenge of the Sith coming potentially. Looks like the new Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, Anakin Skywalker, Han Solo, Chewie, which we knew. There's a lot of stuff that we've already known is coming, but the Stranger from the Acolyte, Sand Trooper from A New Hope, Jango Fett, Attack of the Clones. There's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming in the rest of 2025, it looks like. And maybe even some of this stuff will be coming out in 2026. So Brian says is from Yak Face. Cool. Right on. Thank you, Brian, for making sure, my man. Moderator Brian Myers. And yes, I would say out of this, I would be picking up definitely the Obi, the Annie, the Supreme Chancellor Palpatine, Han Solo, Chewie, Marin. I want a lot of this stuff. The Death Trooper reanimated would be really cool. The Stranger, he was the best part of the Acolyte. So lots of cool stuff. Looks like we got Connor Colarusso in here. Hey, Jacob and everyone. Hope you're all doing great. Thank you, Connor. Appreciate you stopping by, my friend. Really means a lot. Hope you're having a great Friday night. And Connor, let us know, man. Is this a good time for you to tune into the stream? I don't mind pushing stuff back. I know that you and I actually spoke about pushing back the lives to about 7 o'clock, but I figured on Friday nights, it's summertime and springtime is coming up. It might get a little loud, but so far so good here. It's not a super loud place where I live. So let me know what you think in the chat, if this is a good time around 5 p.m. or if it should be pushed back to about 7. I'd love to know your thoughts there. And we got 5 people in here. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in to the Hyperspace Hangout. This is episode 4. I'm your host, Jacob, aka Star Wars Collective. We are currently going over the Rebel recap, which is a just recap of all the Black Series news that's happened in the last couple weeks. It's been 2 weeks since the last stream, so looks like we got a lot of cool figures coming up, and can't wait to see what else we get. That's going to be pretty awesome. And we'll keep it moving here. We'll keep it moving. So I did want to go over... Whoa. There we go. I did want to go over the Black Series debate, whether we like removable helmets or alternate figures. So we'll go into that next here. Okay. So, the Black Series debate, removable helmets or alternate heads on figures. I will pull up a slide just so we have something to look at in the background, but I'll also make myself big again in a second. So removable helmets, one of the benefits is there's something underneath. So you kind of get a little bit more to the figure, but a lot of the downsides to the removable helmets are going to be it can be kind of difficult to get the actual helmet off, and you do risk potential, I haven't had this happen yet, but you do risk potential paint smearing or smudging onto the figure's head itself. So that's a downside. Also, the helmets can look a little bit, there we go, a little bit bulky on the figures. This one doesn't look too bad, but as opposed to, let's see, what's a good example? I would say there was the Bo-Katan figure. That's a good example of, I think it came with an alt head. One of them came with an alt head. Or, yeah, I think it was the Mafex came with an alt head, and it looks phenomenal. And then the Black Series one that has a removable helmet just looks kind of warped and bulky. So, I mean, I guess it is on a case-by-case basis, but ultimately the helmets can get warped with removable helmets. Also, I don't know if you can see, but you can see his chin. So the Black Series removable helmets also have what's called Chinner syndrome. And now you can really see it. Hopefully anyway. So those are a couple cons. It can be hard to get the actual helmet off. There we go. So overall, I would prefer alternate heads, especially after I received my Yoda 2-pack with Gree. We got a classic Yoda face here, just chilling. And then we have an alternate, more angry Yoda head. So this is showing that Black Series, that Hasbro with the Black Series specifically, is capable of doing alternate heads and executing it well. So I would love to know what the chat thinks about this. I don't see it being a huge production difference in cost for Hasbro. Obviously, you are making a different head, but you already have the sculpt for the most part. So, um, I mean, I guess I can see where cutting costs, saving money, whatever, more money for investors and shareholders. That whole thing. That's not anything new. Um, but yeah, we know that they can do it. I know that there's other figures I think that have alt heads too. I just can't think of anything at the moment. So yeah, let's check in with chat and see what they think about this. Connor Colarusso, he says, okay, I personally like two head sculpts. Yes, exactly. I just think that there's more, you get more out of it. So is it going to cost more potentially? Maybe they can just charge us a little bit more, right? From maybe $44.99, make it $47.99. It can't be that much to add a different kind of facial expression to the alternate head itself. Or if it's a helmeted figure like Bo-Katan, if it's a helmeted figure like a clone trooper, then you already have the helmet, which is the main feature of the removable part. The alternated part. You could even just put a, I mean, I don't really like how they do it, but you could put a, just like an unpainted head inside of the helmet. But I think that would take away kind of the purpose of having the alternate part because, after all, it is going to be a head shape underneath, so it could still get a little bit wonky and warped. Whereas I've seen different head sculpts from like different lines, like I'm pretty sure Beast Kingdom, for example, their ball joint head, it's like just a peg. And so that's an easy way to swap around heads. Is just don't make it a head, just make it more of like a peg, something that can just go right back on. So I know I'm kind of blabbering right now. So let's just double check in with chat here. Brian says, "Love that Yoda." Yep, that Yoda is awesome. I was so happy that I was able to grab this Yoda 2-pack. And then Brian also says, "I would prefer alt heads even if it costs a few bucks more." Yeah, exactly. Straight up, Brian. Straight spitting, man. Um, if they were to just charge us a little bit more, it would make the overall quality that much better. Um, I'm starting to, I feel like, run out of Black Series figures that I really want. I was luckily enough in my recent pickups, I'll show y'all, I was luckily enough able to find one that I really wanted, and I found it in store at a GameStop, luckily. I know that's Brian's favorite store is GameStop. So, um, yeah, with that being said, the Black Series, I think, has a lot of great figures coming up in the pipeline. We'll just have to wait and see how they're executed. Again, as some of you may know, I'm not a huge soft goods person, so I'm not really into the, I don't have any soft goods. Oh, here he is. This is maybe the only exception of good soft goods is Yoda. But otherwise, if you take the robe off, he looks kind of weird. So, um, anyway, I'm kind of yapping. Brian's puking. He's got the puke emoji. So anyway, that's kind of my take on alt heads versus removable helmets on figures. I think Hasbro can do. There's the dog. I think Hasbro can do great alternate heads if they wanted to. That's case in point right there. They can do it, and I guess we'll just have to see in the future if they do. I think what's really promising is the upcoming Chancellor Palpatine Window 2-pack. Mace Window, oh my gosh. Mace Windu 2-pack. That is going to, I think, feature a unscarred and then a scarred version of Palpatine. So anyway, looking forward to that. I think that's going to be great. And hopefully that comes out for us sometime soon. Brian says that the puke was for GameStop. Yes. Most of the time, Brian, I agree. I really don't mess with GameStop a whole lot. I do have some GameStop shares in the company, but I don't shop there a whole lot, and I refuse to order from them online because I've heard some horror stories about that stuff. So, anyway, chat, how are we feeling about the Black Series in general? What do you guys and gals think about the current state of our Black Series community? What do we like? What are we disliking? Brian says, not many alt heads in Black Series. I can think of early Maul and Revenge of the Sith Anakin. Really? So the orange line Darth Maul actually came with an alternate head? I had no idea. And Revenge of the Sith Anakin, was that okay, that came with an alternate head as well? That's crazy. I had no idea. Very interesting, Brian. Yeah, and that's just kind of proving what I was you're just backing up what I was saying, essentially. Thank you. Is that Hasbro's done it in the past. We know they can do it. So come on, Hasbro. We want alternate heads. Connor says, I haven't been to GameStop in 7 years. Are their prices bad? No, their prices aren't bad, actually. This cost me $25, $24.99. So, pretty much same as anywhere, actually, Connor, for the most part. I haven't done any game buying from them in a while. I just usually buy, if I'm going to buy a PlayStation game, buy it from the PSN store. So I haven't actually been into GameStop for games in a long time. It's actually, funnily enough, just been for figures. And I've never bought a figure from there. Well, Connor, they do sell a bunch of different figures. Maybe some stuff that you'd like. They sell stuff like the Black Series. They sell the Vintage Collection, Star Wars Vintage Collection. They sell DC Multiverse stuff. They sell Marvel Legends stuff. They sell Funko Pops. They sell Mario toys. I mean, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. They got it all. So they actually do have a pretty good spot for toy hunting. If you have a GameStop near you, I would frequent it for some stuff that you're looking for, because it's worth dropping in just to see if they have what you want, because odds are they just might. Right on. Well, I appreciate everyone for coming in to hang out tonight. This is the episode 4 of the Hyperspace Hangout, and we've been going for about a half an hour now. Time flies when you're having fun. Now, our next segment is a large one. It is the meat and potatoes of the evening. I'm also trying to think of... Oh, I did want to show one thing before we get into the meat and potatoes of the evening. This is really awesome. And I gotta grab the slide. Give me 1 second here, chat. There we go. So this is someone I wanted to shout out. It is one of the halves of the Stoned and Hyper show. I want to give a big shout out to Hyperdrive Collection 6460 for making this absolutely epic custom figure of... Who is this here? Oh, this guy right here. It's got the Scout Trooper helmet. It's got a black t-shirt on. It's got these kind of khaki colored pants. It's pretty freaking awesome. Hyperdrive did a custom of me. And do you see the resemblance? Because I do, and I think it's hilarious. It's great. So thank you, Hyperdrive. Shout out to you. If you aren't already following Hyperdrive Collection 6460 on YouTube, go and give him a follow. He does great custom work and diorama stuff, and he is the other half of the Stoned and Hyper show, and they go live every other Saturday at 8 o'clock p.m. So shout out to the Stoned and Hyper show, and specifically shout out to you, Hyper, for the awesome custom. Just wanted to show off that to everyone there. Brian says, saw that. That was awesome. Yes, that is so nice of Hyper. Really generous of him to take the time to do that. I know he had to kind of do a little bit of tooling on the inside of the helmet. So Connor says, that is so cool, Jacob. Yes, it is, Connor. That's totally me right there, especially if that was like what I wore exactly for the first live stream, except for the Air Jordans. But yeah, that's pretty funny. I'm always wearing khaki pants. And Eternal Mother says, that's awesome. Yes, it is. Absolutely. So awesome. Cannot wait to get that. Needs to dye those sneaks. I know. Imagine some like red Sith sneaks to match the lightsaber, Brian. Or I like all black stuff, or some like all black. That would be pretty cool. Or maybe like a military green as well. There's a lot of stuff to do. Maybe I'll have to try Rit dyeing on my own. Don't really like getting paint and stuff on my hands, but I'm sure I could do it. And especially with the help of Hyper and Timbo Toys, they would give me some tips. So, but yeah, those sneakers, so funny, ready to go and dunk on some fools out there. All right, I don't know why it keeps doing that. It keeps going full screen. Okay. Well, we got 4 people. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Hyperspace Hangout. I think it's time to get into the meat and potatoes of the episode, and what that is going to be the Hyperspace Hangout Episode 4, Star Wars Movies Ranked. We are going to be going 1 through 9, starting with the OT, going all the way to the prequels, and finally finishing off with the sequels. So I'm really excited to do this with everyone tonight. This is going to be a blast. I got some slides that I need to get up. So please, if you can, just give me a moment so that I can get them going. StreamYard, funnily enough, added the ability to use JPEG files, and it won't show any of my JPEG files. So what I have to do is I have to manually go in now and add all of them to the stream, and it takes a second here. So appreciate everyone for bearing with. If you'd like, say what's up to each other in the chat for a second. And I'll just pull up one for now so that we can get it going, and then I'll worry about pulling up the rest later. Okay, so starting off, we are going to start off with, again, the OT, go to the prequels, and then finish off with the sequel trilogy. And let's start off. We got number 1, A New Hope, 1977. This is the film that started it all. It's definitely a perfect hero's journey. Has groundbreaking special effects, iconic characters, and its impact culturally is immeasurable. So that's A New Hope. We're just going to go through the list here and figure out all the movies here, and then we'll go and do the actual ranking. Now, I do have some questions for the chat as we go through this first little bit here. Chat poll. Which character had the best introduction? Was it Luke Skywalker? Was it Han Solo? Or was it Vader? Which character had the best introduction to A New Hope? And which one was more memorable to you? And we'll check in with the chat here. Brian says 1B. 1B. Brian, what do you mean exactly? 1B. What do you mean on 1B? So, chat poll, which character had the best introduction? Luke, Han, or Vader? What do we think? And thank you, everyone, for being here this evening. I really appreciate it. Oh, he's ranking A New Hope. Okay. Okay, so Brian says A New Hope is 1. All right, so we'll get to the rankings here in just a second. I'm just gonna go through all of the movies first. And we have a chat saying Vader is more of the iconic opening scene. Eternal Mother says Vader is the more iconic opening scene as well. And I think so too. Vader showing up on the Tantive 4, right? We also get introduced to Princess Leia as well. And his classic line of, if this was a rebel ship, if this was a consulate ship, where are the ambassadors? And I thought that was pretty cool. He sniffed him out right away. Vader best intro, stepping over dead troopers and rebels. Yeah, he gives no Fs. He's just there to figure out what happened to the Death Star plans and where did they go. Right on. Cool. Well, thank you for everyone for answering that. And in the meantime, I've been yapping and I forgot to pull up my next slide. Sorry about that. Okay. So next up on the list here we have The Empire Strikes Back, 1980, a sequel that surpasses its predecessors, adding emotional depth, darker themes, and one of cinema's greatest twists. Definitely, absolutely. And Connor says, I don't have a Black Series Vader. I definitely need one. Oh, dude, they're available at all Targets. Just go and snag the New Hope one. It's awesome. And we got Hyperdrive Collections. Hey, what up, everyone? What's up, Hyperdrive? Thanks for stopping by, man. I know that you're going to be popping in and out while you're at work. So thank you for tuning in on your Friday night. It definitely means a lot, my friend. And appreciate you for what you do for the world as far as your occupation goes. Means a lot taking care of people out there. And we got everybody saying what's up to Hyperdrive. So yeah, Connor, definitely go and snag. There's Black Series Vaders at Target, and they're super affordable, $24.99. You can find them probably at any Target you go to. Those and the Mines of Mandalore Din Djarin figures. And Hyper says, wouldn't miss it, guys. Well, appreciate you, Hyper. It really does mean a lot for you taking your time out of your work day. And everybody's saying hey to Hyper. So, Empire Strikes Back. Chat poll, what is the most iconic moment? Was it the Battle of Hoth? Was it Yoda's training? Or was it the classic moment at the end, I am your father? What do you guys think was the most iconic moment of Empire Strikes Back? Love to know that. I already know what I am choosing, but I'd love to know what you think. And we got 5 people in here. Thank you to everyone for hanging out on your Friday night. Also, chat, let me know if this is a good time for you to tune into the stream. If it could be pushed back a little bit later, then I think I can accommodate. And yeah, just let me know what you guys think. If it's a good time, I can keep rolling around at 5. And if you think it could be pushed back a little bit, I'd be happy to push that back. So we got Eternal Mother saying the most iconic moment from Empire Strikes Back was I am your father. Gen X Brian says the Battle of Hoth. Love the snow speeder. Yep, exactly. And Hyperdrive Collections, when Luke asks, what's in the cave? Yoda says, only what you take with you. Very true, absolutely. And he ends up running into Darth Vader. So, basically taking in part of who he is, his lineage, the Skywalker lineage. He is ultimately Darth Vader's son at the end of the day, and there's no denying that. Hyperdrive said that's his favorite moment, and I think that you nailed it right there. And that's pretty cool. We got everybody saying a little bit different. Eternal Mother, I am your father. Hoth, love this. Brian Hoth, Battle of Hoth. Hyperdrive, the Yoda moment, very nice. Connor, I thought they smelled bad on the outside. As Khan's cutting open the tauntaun. Yeah, exactly. Stuff smells like some warm organs. Ew, but cool. Connor, you're too funny, man. All right, and still been yapping too much. Haven't gotten my next slide together, but here it is. It's coming up. So, next one up we have is Return of the Jedi, 1983. Very satisfying conclusion to the trilogy with emotional weight and thrilling action. Lighter overall tone compared to the previous two movies in the original trilogy. Right? We got a little bit of a lighter tone with the Ewoks and stuff like that, and some Jabba's Palace stuff as well. But overall, love Jabba's Palace. Love the space battles. I think it's the best movie as far as the space scenes go. You know, TIE fighters on X Wings, vice versa. Return of the Jedi has some of the most iconic space battle moments and scenes. So definitely one of the better kind of more nostalgic classic movies of my childhood. Love Return of the Jedi. And chat poll here, we have a question for Return of the Jedi. In the past, the Ewoks have been divisive among fans. Do you agree, chat, or do you, chat, disagree on this? And Gen X Brian says, at 9 years old, Luke's face behind Vader's mask confused the F out of me. Yep. Yeah, I agree. It was a little confusing to me as a child as well, but then growing up, realized that he was afraid, and the fear was that he would be turning into Darth Vader or to the dark side. So, all right. So, what do we think? Were the Ewoks divisive, or did we love the Ewoks? Wicket and Papalu, right? Some of the Ewoks names. Those guys are really cute, really funny. And Hyperdrive. Did I love the Ewoks or did I love the Ewok village? Right, exactly, Hyper. The Ewok village was very cool, very iconic how it was all hidden up in the trees. I would have loved to hang out up there with those little furry guys. Connor says, Guy at Jabba's palace crying after Rancor died made me feel bad for the Rancor as a kid. That scene, honestly, is a crack up. I think it's very funny. It is very sad, unfortunately, because Rancor actually are very, sympathetic and kind of like softer, even though they're really big, brute, ugly beasts. They do have a connection to their handlers, and they're very, very loving in that way. So it was sad that the Rancor died. Connor says, love the Ewoks. And Gen X Brian is with Connor on the Rancor dying. We got Hyperdrive saying, who am I kidding? I loved it all. I was always into Paplu stealing the speeder bike. Still love it. I forgot about that scene. That's hilarious when he's like spinning around on the speeder. Oh my gosh, those little Ewoks, man. Well, I think overall we've decided that the Ewoks were a win. So, okay, next slide, which I didn't get up yet, is coming right up here. And again, I'm just going through all the movies just so we know what movies we're going over. We're all Star Wars fans here, so we all know. But figured I would just lay it all out here, and then we'll rank them in a moment here. And I'm just waiting for the slide to pop up. There we go. The Phantom Menace, which came out in 1999. So over 10-year difference between the Return of the Jedi and the Phantom Menace coming out. That's pretty big. Phantom Menace, 1999, a visually stunning prequel, introduces some of the most memorable elements in Star Wars, like Darth Maul and Duel of the Fates, plus cool aliens and pod racing. So, chat poll, does the political aspect enhance or slow down the film? I remember first seeing The Phantom Menace as a kid. That was the first Star Wars movie that I saw, actually. And I guess I just didn't really understand the politics, but I love it now. I think it's really intriguing stuff to learn more about the world building and lore and stuff of Star Wars. We got Gen X Brian On the Rancor felt the same when the HasLab failed. I wasn't into collecting, unfortunately, but I would have backed the heck out of that Rancor, man. That thing would have been so cool to have in the Black Series. And it's a bummer that it almost got to the threshold of getting funded and it did not make it. That's just such a bummer. Like, that's. Here we go. Connor spitting. LOL, Brian. Can they please do it again? I would back it. Absolutely. 100%. Nowadays, it would be very expensive, but I think it would be so cool to have. Rancor is just a classic, iconic monster, alien thing in Star Wars. It's been in the movies. It's been in Star Wars video games. So, yeah, bring back the Rancor, Hasbro. We know you're watching, so bring it back. Okay. Well, I think we'd all would say that the political aspects of Phantom Menace, for the most part. Oh, we got Eternal Mother saying the politics is a little boring, but it's necessary for the story, I guess. Yes, very true, Eternal Mother. I enjoyed the politics. I thought that it was interesting to learn more about, like, the Naboo trade blockage and stuff like that. But yeah, definitely necessary for the story, but can be a little tedious. And as Stoned always says, Phantom Menace is my jam. I love it. And it was always my kids' go-to. Yep, exactly. Absolutely. My go-to for sure. Again, it was my first Phantom Menace was my first Star Wars movie that I watched. Shout out to Grandpa for introducing me to the Phantom Menace. And that's cool that you have good memories of it as well, Hyper. Connor says, the fish scene was my favorite as a kid. There's always a bigger fish. Big goober fish. Exactly. The fish scene was pretty cool. I love how Naboo has a bunch of different tunnels that you can go and access different parts of the world in. That's pretty sweet. And Hyperdrive says, I enjoyed the menace politics. Right on. Yes, so did I, Hyper. I enjoyed the Senate scenes a lot. Yeah, it was always really cool to see like the political rooms. I don't know if you'd call them throne rooms. I guess so. But I just love Naboo. I would love to live there. I think that would be awesome. Hyper, you forgot to add MF on Stone's quote. Exactly. That's my boy, MFer. All right. So next slide is incoming here. I'm just yapping away. So sorry about that, folks. But I'm sure you can guess what the next slide will be. It's taking a minute to load here. I think it's got something to do with the snow outside. It is snowing here currently. So hopefully the stream is not glitching out and it is running nice and smooth for everybody. And appreciate you all for being here tonight hanging out. This is a lot of fun. It would be even more fun if the slide loaded. All right, well, we'll wait for the slide. And oh, there we go. Boom. Attack of the Clones 2002, a significant expansion of the galaxy. We visited places like Camino and Coruscant and Naboo and Geonosis. We visited a lot of planets, so very nice, significant expansion of the Star Wars galaxy featuring political intrigue, large-scale battles, and there's always potential overuse of CGI in movies, just like this one, and as well as some uneven dialogue. So that's Attack of the Clones in a nutshell for you. Here is the chat poll. Is the Anakin plus Padme romance story good or bad? What do you think of the Anakin plus Padme romance story? Or as George Lucas would say, it's a love story. Checking with chat real quick here. Hyperdrive Collections, Attack of the Clones, AOTC. Such a sleeper. It is a great movie, honestly. It's phenomenal. Lots of great action scenes, lots of great characters. Connor, best scene. I hate sand. It's so sandy. It's so coarse. I hate it. Yeah, exactly. That's Anakin. He'll never want to go to the beach, unfortunately, for Padme. And Phase 1 clothes. Can't get enough. Exactly. That's definitely my preferred look of clone is Phase 1 over Phase 2 all day. For sure. Hyperdrive is spitting. We got Carl Newton in the house. Morning, guys. Good morning, Carl. Appreciate you coming in to hang out during the Hyperspace Hangout episode number 4. I know you're tuning in from the UK, so thanks a lot. And I imagine that it's very early in the morning over there, probably about 2 or maybe almost 3 in the morning for you. So good morning to you, sir. And thank you for tuning in, my friend. The romance was secondary to the real awesomeness. The real awesomeness, which was the Phase 1 clones. Connor Colarosa says the Ackley and the arena was so awesome. Yeah, that scene was really cool. And all 3 of those creatures that Anakin, Padme, and Obi had to fight were unique. And the Ackley, I would say, was the most unique out of all of them. The Reek was really cool too. The Reek was awesome. But the Ackley, I would love to see a toy representation of. Eternal Mother says, I wasn't too big a fan of the love story aspect. Yeah, it was kind of maybe cheap, a cheap love story or a Diet Coke love story, right? Just it didn't feel super believable. I think I already mentioned kind of some uneven, clunky dialogue. So anyway, Eternal Mother's saying hello, Carl. Everybody's saying hello to Carl. Hyperdrive Collections. The asteroid field with Kenobi and Jango may be my favorite moment in the entire saga. Man, when he releases that that seismic charge, the sound of that thing and how it just obliterates everything in its path is so freaking cool. On one of my NeoPixel lightsabers, they have that sound font actually, and it's one of my favorites. It's so flippin' cool. So great point, Hyper. That was an awesome part of the movie. Okay, getting my next slide up. Again, I've just been yapping away. So thanks for everyone for hanging out. We got 8 people in here. Appreciate you all for hanging out in the episode 4 of the Hyperspace Hangout. Next up would be Revenge of the Sith 2005, my favorite, the peak prequel in my opinion. There's iconic scenes like the Battle of Coruscant, Order 66, Anakin versus Obi-Wan, the fall of Anakin Skywalker, and the rise of Darth Vader. It's also the very last George Lucas Star Wars movie, so I think that's special in its own right. And I remember seeing this in the theaters when I was a kid. I was just absolutely blown away. So, chat poll on this is this film better than Return of the Jedi, being number 3 in the sequels? Is it better than Return of the Jedi being, sorry, I said sequels, I meant prequels, and then Return of the Jedi being number 3 in the original trilogy? Is this better than Return of the Jedi? Eternal Mother is agreeing with Hyper that the asteroid field with Kenobi would be the really cool part of the saga. Carl saying, getting to see the Nexu after reading of it in the EU for me. Ah, okay, very nice. Okay, cool. The Nexu was really, really cool. And Padme took it out. Actually, no, the Reek ended up taking it out, I'm pretty sure. But Padme knocked it off that column at first. That was pretty sick. Hyper, no worries, buddy. Appreciate you for tuning in while you're at work. Take your time, and we'll see you in a little bit. And Gen X Brian says, yes, Revenge of the Sith is better than Return of the Jedi. Right on, Brian. I'm glad you agree, and a little surprised that you would say that. I always thought that you were a total OT head at heart, and I think you still are. But yeah, glad you said that because that's my favorite movie. So shout out to Brian for choosing Return of the Jedi. Revenge of the Sith. All right, next slide, coming in hot. Thank you for everyone for being here. It really means a lot. I do appreciate it. All right, next one is The Force Awakens. came out in 2015. We saw a 10-year hiatus of Star Wars, from Revenge of the Sith to The Force Awakens. A visually stunning and action-packed movie, criticized for being too similar to A New Hope. We got introduced to brand new characters, and we also revisited classic characters like Han Solo, Chewbacca, and Princess Leia Organa. Chat poll: who is the best new character? Rey, Kylo, or Finn? Carl's saying Revenge of the Sith was better than Return of the Jedi. Yep. And Connor says Kylo Ren is one of the coolest characters ever. A piece of me died with Han. I know, that was a brutal moment, unfortunately, Brian. So we got Connor saying Kylo is the best new character. And I think I would have to agree. He is pretty badass. So, all right, one more slide to go and get out here. But until then, we got The Last Jedi, 2017, a film that subverts expectations, but is deeply divisive among fans. Very visually spectacular, though character choices and tone shift split audiences. Yeah, I enjoyed The Last Jedi. I thought it was great, actually. No qualms with it. Thought it was a fun story. I laughed a lot. Some good action. So, yeah, that's my kind of 2 cents there. Chat poll: was Luke's death controversial? Eternal Mother says Rey was great, but also liked Kylo too. Yeah, their dynamic was really great, and we got to flesh that out a little bit more in The Last Jedi. And I thought that was pretty cool that they could like FaceTime each other through the Force. Could you please put on a cowl? That was pretty funny. Connor, my girlfriend loves that one a lot. It's her favorite. I like it too. Nice. Good choice, Kareen, for choosing The Last Jedi as one of her favorite movies. Definitely an awesome one for sure. All right. And I think we would say Luke's death was a little controversial. And we'll leave it at that. And the last one, The Rise of Skywalker, came out in 2019. Palpatine somehow returned. Mixed opinions among fans. And also, does this movie deserve more love? Carl Newton says Kylo had traces of Maul in that everyone was left guessing from the trailers with anticipation. That is a great point. We didn't know who the new big bad Sith Lord was going to be. And yeah, busting out his saber with the cross guard, and it was pretty sick, pretty iconic, especially in the snow. We'd never really seen Star Wars besides Hoth in the snow, especially like lightsaber battles. So that was pretty sick. I thought it was cool, Connor says. The Rise of Skywalker, at least. Gen X Brian, I think he's talking about The Last Jedi. I like Luke on crate. Yeah, the Force projection was really wild, wasn't it, Brian? Unfortunately, it took all of his energy to Force project and fight Kylo. So, but if he's the one to do it, it was Luke. So, okay. Well, let's see here. Let's throw this up. We got original trilogy 1, A New Hope, 2, Empire Strikes Back, 3, Return of the Jedi. In the prequel trilogy, we have The Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, 6, Revenge of the Sith. And then the sequel trilogy, The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. So, chat, it's time. What are we going to be putting as number 1 for our ranking of the Star Wars movies? Here we have our master list. and the master list will show us all of the movies here. Let's start off with number 1, which is basically the best one that we think should be going into the number 1 spot. I got a list right here that we're going to make, and we're going to figure it out together. So, chat, let me know what you think. What is the number 1 Star Wars movie that you would rank as your favorite? And we got 8 people in the chat. Thank you to everyone for tuning into the Hyperspace Hangout episode number 4. I am your host, Jacob, aka Star Wars Collective. We're going over the Star Wars movies and ranking them here live with the chat. So that includes you. So let us know what you think is your favorite Star Wars movie, and we will be putting it to a vote to decide what number 1 is. Let's check in with the chat real quick. Carl, A New Hope, Shirley. Okay, so we got 1 vote for A New Hope. We got Gen X Brian saying number 1 is Empire Strikes Back, so we got 1 for Empire Strikes Back. I'm going for Revenge of the Sith, so that's my choice there. We got Connor, damn hard choice. Return of the Jedi, Jabba and the Rancor. He loves that scene, so he's choosing Return of the Jedi. Okay. All right, so everyone's kind of got their own thing going. We got the left-handed Jedi in the chat. What's up, the left-handed Jedi? Thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate you hanging out with us. First time seeing your name in chat, so welcome, welcome. And we have a second vote for Return of the Jedi. Right on. Thanks for hanging out again. The left-handed Jedi means a lot. So we do have 7 people in here. We've got 4 votes. And 2 for Return of the Jedi, 1 for Empire Strikes Back, and 1 for A New Hope. So let's wait just another second here and see who decides their favorite is. All right. All right, gonna come down to the last couple seconds here. If anybody else wants to cast their vote for number 1 movie, looks like right now it's going for 2 for Return of the Jedi. Return of the Jedi. And we got 8 people in here, so technically 4 more people can vote. Let us know what your thoughts are on your favorite Star Wars movie. What should go in the number 1 spot? All right. So it looks like we, in order to not just totally run the clock out, we are going to go with Return of the Jedi as the best Star Wars movie out of the trilogy here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, update the master list here. All right. So there's our master list, and then here is our voting list. We have right now number 1, Return of the Jedi. So, what's number 2? What is our number 2 favorite Star Wars movie that we're going to be putting in at number 2 spot? And we got Eternal Mother saying, I have to say Star Wars A New Hope because I'll never forget seeing that in theaters as a child. Right on. Okay, cool. 1 for A New Hope. Very nice. And hey, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for A New Hope. It's classic Star Wars, right? It's the thing that started it all. And it does technically stand alone on its own if you were to just watch A New Hope and not watch, and say if the rest of the Star Wars movies didn't exist, that you would be able to, I think, enjoy that on its own, and it's going to be like a timeless movie. So Connor says episode 2, Attack of the Clones because of the Acklay. All right, so we got one for A New Hope, one for Attack of the Clones. Carl says same with Eternal Mother, so he's going to agree and vote with A New Hope. And he agreed with Eternal Mother, but is voting for Empire Strikes Back for number 2. Definitely. Okay, cool. So one for A New Hope, one for Attack of the Clones. Carl, I'm going to agree with you. Empire Strikes Back for number 2. I think that one is probably the most iconic. It's operatic. It's got some amazing scenes like the Battle of Hoth, Yoda's training, the classic duel with Luke and Vader. So I would definitely put Empire Strikes Back here. ESB. Ooh, look at all this love for ESB coming in. We got The Left-Handed Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, and Gen X Brian, ESB. So I think that settles it. We're going with ESB as number 2. And this is our updated list here. Right on. Excellent. So what's number 3? We got first is Return of the Jedi. 2 is Empire Strikes Back. Out of all the Star Wars trilogy movies, out of all 9, what is number 3 here? What is number 3? We have 9 people in the chat. Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to the Hyperspace Hangout. We got Commander Cook himself in here hanging out. Howdy, howdy, Commander Cook. Thanks for dropping by. Appreciate you tuning in to episode 4 of the Hyperspace Hangout. Really means a lot. If you don't know, I'm Star Wars Collective, also known as Jacob. Everybody's saying what's up in the chat. All right, so for number 3, Gen X Brian is A New Hope. Left-Handed Jedi, Attack of the Clones. We got Carl Newton going for The Phantom Menace. So we got a bunch of different votes here. We also have here in the chat, The Stone Mandalorian. Sorry I'm late. No worries, buddy. That's totally cool. Appreciate you being able to stop by and tune in on your Friday night. I know you got a stream tomorrow and you got Lady Stone that you're hanging out with and stuff. So appreciate you for taking the time, man. We're currently voting on our favorite Star Wars movies. We have for number 1, Return of the Jedi. 2 is Empire Strikes Back. So Stone, let us know what your favorite is. I think I already know what your favorite is, honestly. And we got everybody in the chat saying what's up to Stoned. Okay, let me go back and look at the list here. So New Hope, Attack of the Clones, The Phantom Menace. You're so welcome, homie. Appreciate you, my man. Really means a lot, homie. Really does. Thank you so much. And we got chat just saying what's up to each other, which is awesome. Love this little community that has been cultivated through the last couple months of doing the live stream. It's been awesome. Okay, Stone says, oh man, that's hard. I think I might have to go with Return of the Jedi. Stoned, lucky for you, that is at number 1. Return of the Jedi is number 1. So you basically got that vote already in, which is awesome. Number 2 is Empire Strikes Back. We're on number 3 right now. So what is number 3? Stone, yo, let's go. Yep, I knew you'd like that. Return of the Jedi got number 1. I know that. That's like a huge source of nostalgia for you and all that stuff. So I'm throwing out probably Revenge of the Sith. And Stone says, I think maybe Revenge of the Sith or The Phantom Menace for 3. Yep. 100%, bro. Exactly. Right on. So we got The Phantom Menace. We got A New Hope 77, Attack of the Clones, and 2 for Revenge of the Sith. So if anybody wants to break the tie there and give another for Revenge of the Sith, or give one to either Attack of the Clones, A New Hope, or The Phantom Menace, and then it'll be tied. Yeah, I think you're right, Jacob. Solid pick. Thanks, man. Glad you agree, brother. Glad you agree. Oh, yeah. And I'm just remembering I forgot to play some clips here for you guys. Eternal Mother, eating dinner, be right back. Okay, enjoy dinner. So while we're deciding on what our next favorite movie is, we are on number 3. We need someone to basically choose Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, Attack of the Clones, or The Phantom Menace. We got 2 for Revenge of the Sith, but while we're waiting, I am going to play a clip for you guys.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. But, sir! Oh, my! How rude. Oh, my. Oh, I'm terribly sorry. I didn't mean to intrude. No, please don't get up.
Oh, my. Revenge of the Sith is acceptable, the left-handed Jedi says, and so does Eternal Mother. Right on. All right, so that is going to be number 3 is Revenge of the Sith. So here's our current updated list. We have first Return of the Jedi, 2 Empire Strikes Back, and number 3 Revenge of the Sith. Oh yeah. Yo, I love that clip, man. Gotta love 3PO. Thanks, dude. It was a fun little clip to put together. I'm glad you guys liked it. So figured I'd start adding some little clips here and there into the live stream. So thanks again, man. Appreciate you a lot. Okay, so what's number 4, folks? What is number 4 for your favorite Star Wars movie? What are we going to put at number 4? We are currently ranking the Star Wars movies 1 through 9. At number 1, we have Return of the Jedi, 2 Empire Strikes Back, 3 Return, Revenge of the Sith, and number 4 we are deciding right now. Checking with chat here. Left-handed Jedi, A New Hope. Okay, there's 1 for A New Hope. Stoned, got to go The Phantom Menace personally. Connor, episode 3. Connor, episode 3 is number 3 on the list. So we got we got Revenge of the Sith already, buddy. Brian says A New Hope, 77. Stone, that's 2 for A New Hope. Yep, exactly. And we'll try to get the rounds going a little bit quicker here now. I don't want to take up too much time, but I really appreciate everyone for hanging out. So yeah, 2 for A New Hope. We got Brian and Left-Handed Jedi, A New Hope. Connor, oh shit, sorry, doing laundry while listening. No worries, dude. It's totally cool. Connor, let us know. What do you think? We got Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, number 4. What do you think that would be, buddy? We still have A New Hope, Attack of the Clones, and then all of the sequel trilogies. My number 4 would have been ROTJ. Okay, right on, Connor. Right on, Carl. Thank you for that. We got Troy in the house. Troy, what up? Troy says, what's up, everybody? Troy, thanks for being here. Really appreciate you, my man. Happy to have you here hanging out. We are currently ranking the Star Wars movies 1 through 9. And I'll show you the master list that we have here currently. It's Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, and we're currently on number 4 right here, Troy. And here is the master list, so you can choose from the master list here. And we got everybody saying, what's up to Troy in the chat? Right on. And Connor is saying Attack of the Clones for number 4. So we got 1 for Attack of the Clones. I'm going for The Phantom Menace. So 1 for the Attack of the Clones, 1 for The Phantom Menace. So we are ranking numbers 1 through 9 of the Star Wars movies. We are excluding Rogue One and Solo just to make it a little bit more streamlined here. We got 9 people in the chat. Thank you to everyone for tuning into the Hyperspace Hangout. This is episode number 4. What is your favorite Star Wars movie? Here is our list that we have. We're on number 4, and this is our master list. Let's just check in with chat. 2, The Phantom Menace. 2, A New Hope. 1, Attack of the Clones. Yes. So we're tied right now between The Phantom Menace and A New Hope. Sorry, we don't even have A New Hope on there. So yeah, we definitely got to get that on there. I'm going to go with A New Hope as well. I think we got to get A New Hope on there. So 2 for Phantom Menace, 3 for A New Hope, 1 for Attack of the Clones. I think, Stone, boom. He said I was the tiebreaker for A New Hope, so we'll put A New Hope at number 4. Oh, we got another comment. New Hope, yep. Troy, so New Hope just blew the rest out of the water by a landslide. So here is your current ranking. We got Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, and A New Hope for your Star Wars ranking movies. So, what is number 5? What is number 5? Yep, A New Hope it is. Exactly, Stoned. So what's number 5? We have Attack of the Clones left. We have The Phantom Menace, and then we have all the sequels. Left-Handed Jedi says, bring on the clones. So we got 1 for Attack of the Clones. Connor, clones. Okay. I will go with The Phantom Menace. The Phantom Menace. That's my choice. So 2 for clones, 1 for TPM. Carl says TPM. So 2 for The Phantom Menace, 2 for the clones. All right. And The Phantom Menace. All right. So there's 3 for Phantom Menace, 2 for Attack of the Clones. We'll give it another 30 seconds here and see if anybody else wants to throw in their vote. But it looks like The Phantom Menace is going to be our number 5. Troy says, sorry, boys, just wanted to pop in quick. I have to work until 10, so I'll jump back on if you're still going, Jacob. Right on, Troy. I'll try to go for about 2 hours or so this stream, so you might be able to catch the very tail end. But I appreciate you hanging out and tuning in, man. It does mean a lot. I hope you have a great rest of your shift at work. Eternal Mother says clones, so we got 3 for clones. Oh, I got to catch up with chat here. Commander Cook says, honestly, I'm going to go for The Force Awakens for number 5. Although it's quite similar to A New Hope, it's still really well made. Honestly, Commander Cook is spittin'. It does have a lot of fun going on, that movie. Right? We get to see classics like Han, Chewie, Leia. We get new characters like Finn, Rey, Kylo. So we got another one for clones from Eternal Mother. Stone is helping keep track of the voting, and I really appreciate that. We got moderator Mandalorian helping out. Thank you very much, Stone. Appreciate you. Stone says that's a fair pick, Cook. The Force Awakens is my favorite of the sequels. Yep. Yeah, that's really good, man. It's a classic, and it was one of the first Star Wars movies that we got after 10 years of a Star Wars hiatus. So, and I chose The Phantom Menace. So there's 4 Phantom Menace, 2 Attack of the Clones, and I think that's it. Is The Phantom Menace. So 5 is TPM. Stone says, moderator Mandalorian. I thought you'd enjoy that. I thought you'd get a laugh out of that. All right, so here is your list. We have Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, and The Phantom Menace. What is next? I have a feeling people are going to be choosing Attack of the Clones or The Force Awakens for the next one. But we'll just have to wait and see. So what do we think? What do we think? Carl says clones. So we got 1 for clones. I think I'll agree with Carl and go with clones. So 2 for clones. Stone says, yeah, I'm sorry to be a basic B. I got to go Attack of the Clones. Attack of the Clones. There's 4 for Attack of the Clones right there. I think that's going to win. I don't think we have 8 people in here. So, yep, 4 Attack of the Clones. So, unless the other 4 people in the chat want to chime in with their vote, you don't have to. You don't have to. Don't worry about it. But if you wanted to try to break our Attack of the Clones vote here, you may do so. Otherwise, they'll give it another Eternal Mother Attack of the Clones. I think that's overwhelming. 5 votes for Attack of the Clones. So, number 6 is Attack of the Clones for your Star Wars live chat ranking. We have Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, Revenge of the Sith, A New Hope, The Phantom Menace, and Attack of the Clones. So that leaves us with the all sequel trilogy movies. So I'm guessing everyone's going to go with TFA as number 1, but we'll just have to wait and see. We got 8 people in here, so we should be getting some votage coming in hot, but we'll have to wait and see. I really liked actually the last Jedi. I thought that the Last Jedi was really good. Force Awakens was great as well. But okay, we got Carl saying The Force Awakens. So there's 1 vote for TFA. I will go with The Last Jedi. Okay, Gen X Brian, TFA. So there's 2. The Stone Mandalorian says, for sure, The Force Awakens was definitely a slight copy and paste of A New Hope. And then The Left-Handed Jedi, do we have to count the sequels? LOL. Yes, we do have to count the sequels, unfortunately. Actually, fortunately, I enjoyed the sequels. I know they get hate, but Commander Cook, The Force Awakens, Left-Handed Jedi, Force Awakens, and Stone Mandalorian says this Force Awakens was still good, although it had some slight copy and paste of A New Hope. So I think that's an overwhelming The Force Awakens. So we'll be adding that to number 7. All right, and that just leaves us with 2 more. We got The Last Jedi and The Rise of Skywalker. This vote will be putting us into the last 2. One will fall into place after the other. And Gen X Brian spitting. Hey, the prequels used to get a lot of hate. They did used to get a lot of hate indeed, unfortunately. And now I think that a lot of people have come around to them. So Stone says, that's true, Brian. He agrees, and I agree too. So what do we think, folks? Rise of Skywalker or The Last Jedi for number 8? And then number 9 will fall into place right after that. So checking with the chat here. We got The Last Jedi. Stone says, think I gotta go The Rise of Skywalker. Carl Newton says, couldn't hate Last Jedi, just disappointed, so number 7. Hey, and that's totally valid. Totally valid, Carl. You deserve to be entitled to that, that you thought it was a little disappointing. So The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker, let's see what else. I think I got to go with The Last Jedi as well. So there's 2 for The Last Jedi, 1 for The Rise of Skywalker. And Carl, what's your vote again, buddy? Couldn't hate Last Jedi, just disappointed, so number 7. This is our current ranking here. Number 7 is TFA. 8 would be either Last Jedi or The Rise of Skywalker. So, almost done with our live ranking of the Star Wars movies, number 1 through 9. Thank you to everyone for hanging out and tuning in to the Hyperspace Hangout episode number 4. Gen X Brian says The Last Jedi. So, we got 3 for The Last Jedi. He says, I flipped a coin. Hey, that's one way to get it done. Last Jedi, number 8. Sorry. Okay, cool. So, I think it's unanimously going to be The Last Jedi. Commander Cook, The Last Jedi. I think my only sort of problem with this movie is the Luke deal. If they could have showed a better transition to that character, I think it could have been really solid, but I can still easily watch it. Yeah, I do understand what you're getting at, Cook, with the whole Luke deal on crate and force projecting, and that being what ultimately takes him out. Could it have been done better? Simple answer, yes. But I can still easily watch it as well. Again, The Last Jedi gave me a lot of great laughs, so I definitely like that. Very well said, Cook. Stoned agrees. And Stoned, the Rise of Skywalker is episode 9. Last Jedi is number 8. Which one was 9? Number 9 was The Rise of Skywalker. So, yeah, unanimously, though, The Last Jedi won. So that makes number 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Stone says, yeah, I thought so, just making sure. Right on, man. All right, so here is your Hyperspace Hangout live stream ranking of the Star Wars trilogy movies. We got number 1, Return of the Jedi, 2, Empire Strikes Back, 3, Revenge of the Sith, 4, A New Hope, 5, The Phantom Menace, 6, Attack of the Clones, 7, The Force Awakens, number 8, The Last Jedi, and number 9, The Rise of Skywalker. Right on, we did it. Right on, everybody. Right on. That's awesome. Always love to know where everybody's thoughts and opinions and perspective is on the Star Wars movies. Really cool to see that the OT got a bunch of love. They're in the top, well, Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back are in the top 2. But I love that Revenge of the Sith made it in the top 3. I would say that that's an excellent order, and I would love to watch all of those movies all the time. They're definitely a classic and very timeless. So let's check into chat here. Gen X Brian is joking with Stone. Stoned, are you a real Star Wars fan? Connor says Force Awakens. Commander Cook says, I really love all the designs for the characters in The Rise of Skywalker. Absolutely. Absolutely, Cook. Classic Rise of Skywalker had a lot of great stuff going for it. And like you said, the character designs were spot on. Brian, fake fan. Stoned is a fake fan. Y'all heard it here first. Commander Cook, the dynamic between the characters too. Yeah. Absolutely. Cook, well said, buddy. We got the Left-Handed Jedi. Great list. Thank you, Left-Handed Jedi. I appreciate you for helping us figure out what the number 1 and number 2 and so on rankings are. So really appreciate you for stopping by to hang out. It really means a lot, man. Rise. Sweet. Well, we have made it to our recent pickups, but before we go to recent pickups, we are going to be playing a clip because we got to go to the Death Star. That's where the recent pickups are. So let's head on over to the Death Star and check out recent pickups. It's recent pickup time. All right, we made it to the Death Star. We all crammed into the Millennium Falcon. It's actually quite spacious, so I wasn't afraid of that whatsoever. Eternal Mother says, great clip and music. Why, thank you very much. I actually, the last time I played that clip, used a Star Wars song, and I didn't actually get copyrighted on the live stream video, but it got copyrighted. Like, I don't know what it was, but I ended up cutting that part out of the video and made my own music. For those of you who don't know, I used to produce, I used to work at Guitar Center, so I used to produce music and stuff like that, and decided I would make a copyright-free little tune. So that's what that was. I made that little jingle that you just heard in the clip. So Stone says, dude, I'm loving the clips, man. Great job. Right on, Stone. Appreciate you, man. I'd be more than happy to show you how to make clips or make some clips for your show if you are at all interested. Just let me know, man. I'd be more than stoked. Gen X Brian giving us the emoji. We got Stoned. Oh, dude, I didn't know that. That's cool. I'm a guitar player myself. Oh, right on. I do remember you mentioning that you were in a band, actually, and because you were saying how like supportive your family was with like everything you do, even your music stuff. So that's so freaking cool, man. Right on. Hey, great minds think alike, fellow musician minds, right? Stone had a Gibson guitar and a couple Epiphones. Nice, right on, man. So you were into it for sure. You must have been the guitar player of the band, rocking out with your Gibson, shredding away. That's pretty cool, dude. Well, thank you, bro. I appreciate you being willing to give advice anytime, man. Happy to do it. It'd be my pleasure to help you out. So. Gen X Brian says, I have no musical talent other than listening to it. Well, that is a talent in and of itself, having a good ear, Brian, for good music. There's so much music out there to filter through, so someone's got to listen to it. Stone, sorry, Epiphone. Yep, no worries. Epiphones are dope, super cool. Do you still have your Epiphone, Stoned? Yep, that's all you need, Brian, is just some good music to bring the vibes up. So... thank you, Stoned. Appreciate that, man. So we are at recent pickups, episode 4, recent pickups. I don't have a ton of recent pickups. Stone says he still has his guitars. Right on, dude. I'm glad you still have your instruments. I still have some synthesizers that I actually just broke one out and was jamming on one the other day. It was so fun. Good. So you're actively playing guitar still. You just bought some new strings. That's awesome, dude. Heck yeah. And yes, we are getting into recent pickups. I will stop getting distracted. So first pickup, they're both Black Series items. I actually just got this in the mail. I won a Chiati Mundi from when I was a winner of the Out of the Basement Wheel of Rebo. And they allowed me to choose a figure, so I decided to go with Chiati Mundi. And I already have Chiati Mundi. I got him because I'm thinking of I have a really cool custom in mind that I've been thinking of, and I'm hoping that it'll be executed, and I'm going to be using the Chiati Mundi body for it. I've already taken the head off, and the neck has a ball joint or dumbbell joint on the bottom, so that's the only thing that I'm kind of worried about, is that it might not fit with the other head that I have, but if it works, it's going to be a dope custom. So just in case, I got an actual Chiati Mundi so that I can rock on the shelf, because again, I'm going to be taking apart the other figure. So shout out to Nate and Justin from Out of the Basement for the awesome Black Series figure. And if you folks don't have Chiati Mundi already, he is available on Big Bad Toy Store. And you can get him for $24.99, and I definitely would recommend picking up Chiati because he is just one of the coolest figures that we have in the Black Series. And Stone says, amazing figure. Yes, it is one of my favorites, an amazing figure. I know you love that. I think it was in your top 10 of your favorite Black Series videos, Stoned. So we got the left-handed Jedi saying, I picked up 3 General Landos on clearance for $5 last night at Walmart. What? That is awesome. I do need to add General Lando to my collection. In fact, where I live, there's a small little mom and pop toy store that has like Ayla Sakura, General Lando, Aura Singh. They have some really cool Black Series figures. They are going for $44.99. $44.99 for Black Series figures, double the price. Are you freaking kidding me? Well, not completely double the price, but basically it might as well be. So the fact that you got 3 General Landos on clearance for $5 each last night, that's awesome. Left-handed Jedi, good pickups, man. I hope you enjoy those those Landos. Brian says, "Oh, sweet, great pick and congrats." Thanks, Brian. It was awesome to win the Wheel of Rebo on Out of the Basement. I was surprised they have so many people in there, so it was definitely an honor. That's insane. Left-handed Jedi, good deal. Yeah. Oh, Kiadi is. I didn't know Kiadi was left-handed. Very interesting. Nice win. Left-handed Jedi says, "Nice win." Right on. Thank you. Commander Cook. Ooh, I think I know which custom. Ooh, do you cook now? Well, you'll have to stay tuned. I will definitely be showing that on the next live stream in 2 weeks from today. So we'll see if Commander Cook, if you can make it to that stream, if you are correct about what the custom is. If you guessed it, I'd be blown away, honestly. Out of the Basement guys are so dope. Yep. Shout out to Nate and Justin. Those guys are awesome. They do so much for the community, and they do shows every single week, and they've been doing it for years now. So yeah, they definitely deserve all the love, and I'm very grateful for being able to be on their show as a guest. Connor says, "That's so cool, bro." Yeah, $45 in the wild is wild for those 2 figures. Absolutely stoned. I definitely would not have even imagined that I would have walked in and saw Black Series figures for that much. I told the guy, I was like, you know that these are retailing in other places for like $25, for like half the price. And he seemed to not give any care in the world. And I think he was like the main like manager person of the store. So anyway, it is what it is. They're going to be sitting there for Lord knows how long. Your win on the episode. I was a guest on. That was so cool. That's right. You were the guest on the episode. That's so funny. Hey, the stars align, right? All right. So next for recent pickups, I went to GameStop and found this bad boy. This has been something that has been in my pile of loot on Big Bad Toy Store for over a month now. And I was blown away to find one in the wild. And that is going to be the Super Battle Droid, the SBD, a lot of people's #1 favorite character of 2025. Couldn't believe that I just walked around and saw this hanging on a peg in front of, some of the newer series stuff like the Leia, the Luke Skywalker. This was just chilling right next to all of those. So super stoked. I've been wanting this in my collection for a very long time now, and I'm really excited to finally get the SBD, most people's #1 figure of 2025. So definitely need some more Separatist droids. I think I'm going to have to pull the trigger on the B1 battle droid with the STAP and add a little bit more Separatists droids to the Black Series collection. Anyway, super stoked that I was able to find this, and definitely can't wait to get it open and check out the articulation. So Stone says, "Hell yeah, dude! SBD is fantastic. I think that was your favorite figure of 2024, Stoned, if I'm not mistaken. So that's pretty awesome. Finally got it. I feel like the last person to get it. Commander Cook definitely can't get enough supers." Exactly. In fact, Cook, I was thinking of snagging the 2-pack with the Super Battle Droid and the Phase 1 Clone Trooper. Because also Phase 1s can't get enough Phase 1s in the line, and Phase 1 all day over, in my opinion, Phase 1 all day over the Phase 2. But that's just me. Connor Colarusso says, "It's an awesome figure, man." It is indeed, Connor. Super cool figure, and I'm very glad to have it in my collection. So, yeah. That is going to do it for recent pickups. I did want to show, because we have some new people in the chat, I wanted to show you guys something that was made by a buddy of mine, Hyperdrive Collections 6460 to be specific. So shout out to Hyper because he made something awesome, and we'll see if you guys can recognize who this is here. So shout out to Hyperdrive Collection 6460 for making this absolutely epic custom figure of me. Do you see the resemblance? Usually in my lives, sometimes I'll wear a Scout Trooper helmet with a black t-shirt, and I'm always usually wearing khaki pants as well. So anyway, Hyper absolutely nailed the custom. It looks so freaking awesome, and it is on the way to me, so it'll go on my shelf with some of the other Black Series figures that I have. I might even keep it as a permanent desk figure, to be honest, just because it's so cool and such an awesome one-of-one custom. So if you aren't already following Hyperdrive Collection 6460 on YouTube, go and give him a follow, as he makes a lot of cool customs and does a lot of great diorama work and stuff like that. Stone says, good pickups, man. Thank you very much. I did feel like there were two good pickups as well, and both Attack of the Clones. I know I'm small right now, but both Attack of the Clones coming in that really cool red boxed art is super awesome. Stone says, I know what you're about to show. Exactly, Stoned. Hyper showed this, a little preview of this on their last stream this past Saturday, so that's where I got to see it firsthand. Commander Cook says, it's sick. Yeah, he nailed it, man. The black shirt, the red lightsaber, the Scout Trooper helmet, it's perfect. Yeah, it's super cool, man. He did a really good job. Commander Cook says, remember him showing that on the stream. Yep, definitely. It's even got those Air Jordans that Gen X Brian was saying to potentially give a RIT dye to, and RIT dye them a different color. Maybe like red to match the saber or black to match the shirt or something would be cool. So Left-Handed Jedi says, best helmet, very cool custom fig. And now I have both Left-Handed Jedi. I have the Scout Trooper helmet, and now I have this awesome custom fig from my friend Hyperdrive. So that's pretty awesome. Oh, hello there, Timbo Toys. Everyone, we got Timbo Toys in the chat. He says, hey guys. Timbo Toys, another person that makes phenomenal dioramas and custom figures. He was recently on the Stoned and Hyper show. Hyperdrive's other half is Stone Mandalorian, and they had him on to show off a bunch of great dios and custom figures, and it was such a great episode. And Timbo's really doing a lot of great work as far as there's the detail in his dioramas. They are of another world. So go check out Timbo Toys also, folks, if you haven't, and give him a follow. And everyone is saying what's up to Timbo in the chat. So Commander Cook says, I'm curious what figure those pants belong to. Cook, this figure's pants belong to the farm boy Luke that came with the soft goods white tunic. And he took the tunic off and purchased a black shirt on eBay and just threw it over the top of it. So it's the farm boy Luke with the soft tunic, kind of robe tunic, the white tunic. That's what it's called. It's a tunic. So Stone says he was a fantastic guest and is a super cool guy. Great stuff over on his channel. Yes, exactly. Timbo Toys has a lot of great stuff going on his channel. So go and give him a follow, everybody, if you haven't already. Timbo says, thanks, man. Timbo, you're totally welcome, buddy. And Stone, you're spitting exactly right. Those are the Luke Skywalker legs, the farm boy Luke. And Connor says, OMG, that battle droid is so nice. Yeah, dude, that is still available. The single card version of the battle droid is still available on Big Bad Toy Store. So you go check that out. It's $24.99 on Big Bad Toy Store. If you don't have a Super Battle Droid, you got to get one in your collection. They're so freaking cool. There's also a 2-pack with the Phase 1 Clone Trooper that I mentioned a little bit earlier. Yup. Okay, yes, I thought it looked pretty similar. Yeah, exactly, Cook. Exactly. Great idea for Hyper to use that body for the custom, honestly. It was perfect. Connor says, I need that one. Yeah, man, got to get the SBD. It was voted in a lot of people's 2024 best Black Series figure. So, um, yeah, I'm super stoked to finally have it in my collection. We've been wanting that for so long. And everybody's saying, what's up to Timbo? So we have reached basically the end of the stream where we do our, where we do what's called Tatooine Talk. And our Tatooine Talk is basically the end of show discussion where we talk about whatever the chat wants to get into, whether that's Star Wars Black Series, whether that's Star Wars in general, whether that's other things like television shows you may be watching, non related to Star Wars, books, hobbies that you guys have been getting into. We did spring forward last week, so it's been staying later out longer. I don't know if people have been starting to notice the more sunlight. I definitely am, and I've been loving that. I think that's awesome. Cannot wait for summer. Again, it was snowing here earlier during the stream, so I was worried that that would kind of give the stream like some glitchy or staticky or just kind of overall poor quality. But hopefully, it's been streaming well this entire time. And I really appreciate everyone for hanging out. We got 11 people in here in the chat. We are going over our Tatooine talk where we just kind of get into whatever the chat wants to talk about and close out the stream. Let's check in with chat. Chat is popping off here. Stone asks, anyone watch Daredevil at all? I haven't checked that out yet, Stone. I've been rewatching all of the Spider-Mans, and I was thinking of checking out Daredevil next. So if you've seen it, what do you think? Let us know in chat. Give us some of the rundown on Daredevil, Stoned. The Left-Handed Jedi says, Andor Season 2 hype is real. You know what? I still haven't seen the trailer for it yet. It's been popping up in my feed, and each time I'm like doing something else or like on my way to do something or post something. So I haven't watched it yet. But Left-Handed Jedi, what do you think, man? Stone says, yeah, Andor is going to be sick. I can't wait for Andor 2. The first season was so killer. I really hope it lives up to the first season was really killer. I really hope season 2 lives up to the hype and how amazing the first one was. Timbo Toy says, I watched Daredevil. Right on, Daredevil. Right on, Timbo. What do you think of Daredevil? And what episode are you on? Stone says, yeah, definitely ready for summer. Man, it cannot come soon enough. I am ready for long nights and warm days, hanging out by the beach and by the rivers and taking the dog up to the hill and just hanging out and being outside because I definitely have cabin fever. Stone says, Timbo, it was so good. Last episode of Daredevil was wild. Dang, okay. It was wild, so might have to check it out tonight, honestly. Did they release all of the episodes at once, or did they do it week to week? And Timbo agrees, yes, it was wild. Stone says, hell yeah, Jacob, Spider-Man is one of my favorite heroes. But yeah, Daredevil has been insanely intense. I don't want to spoil anything, but man, it's really good writing and acting. Okay, sweet, right on. Isn't he plays like a lawyer or something, right? Like a an attorney, I believe, of some kind, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, man, I'm definitely gonna have to check out Daredevil. Thanks for the recommendation. And Left-Handed Jedi says, can't wait for Andor. Yes, Andor is going to be awesome. Hopefully season 2 is going to live up to the hype of season 1. Carl says, yep, caught up on episode 3 tonight. Superb. And I'm assuming Carl's talking about Daredevil, sorry. So that makes another person that's watched Daredevil that I'm going to have to check out as well. Stone says, it's really dark and gritty, and I'm surprised it's on Disney+. I know originally the first 3 seasons were on Netflix, but man, it's just so dark. I think aside from because Soned, I agree with you. Spider-Man, probably one of my favorite heroes as far as the Marvels go. But I do like the darker DC, the Detective Comic stuff, right? My favorite, I would say, hero is probably Batman. It's a tie between Spider-Man and Batman. And I always loved the Christopher Nolan, the Christian Bale Batmans, because they had a little bit more of a darker vibe and a little bit more of a gritty element to them. So I totally agree um, that the fact that the Daredevil is a little bit of a darker show, or you're saying it's just so dark, so it is a darker show, that it's on Disney Plus. But it's cool that they're adding stuff like that on Disney Plus. Prey is on Disney Plus as well. That's another kind of gruesome, violent movie. And then Alien, the new one that just came out. I just watched it. Connor, if you're in chat, let me know what that movie's called. Alien Romulus. Yeah, Romulus. That was also another kind of violent, darker movie too. So I was surprised that that's on Disney Plus as well, Stoned. And Stone says that Daredevil is week to week. I always like week to week shows. I feel like it gives you something to look forward to as opposed to just dropping the whole season on you. I mean, the only benefit of that is you can binge watch the whole thing, but I like to have something to look forward to, or, save a week or two up and then binge those. So anyway, Connor says, been watching older seasons of Daredevil to catch up to the new one. Right on, Connor. So that's another person that is into Daredevil, which means I'm going to have to check that out. And Stone says, yes, that's correct, Jacob. He's a lawyer. His name is Matt Murdock. Matt Murdock is Daredevil. That is cool. Right on. And I believe he's blind as well, a blind lawyer. So, and a blind superhero. That's really sick. And Stone's agreeing with Connor. Stakes feel real. And Stone says, yeah, man, the Nolan Batman films were awesome. I'm glad you agree. Those were like, I remember when I first saw Batman Begins still, and The Dark Knight in theaters. And yeah, just so freaking awesome. Just great story. Love Christian Bale's portrayal of Batman. And Jim Gordon is played by Gary Oldman. So he's great in it as well. So lots of great actors. Liam Neeson's in the first one. Heath Ledger's in the second one. Yeah, just great casting by Christopher Nolan in those movies. Commander Cook, have you seen the Batman 2002 Star Wars Collective? I have. That movie is freaking awesome, dude. Holy crap. The Batmobile in there is sick. Catwoman, Selena Kyle is so awesome, played by Zoe Kravitz. You got Pattinson as the Bat, right? What's his name? Plays Commissioner Gordon. Oh man, he's such a good actor. I can't remember his name, but you know who I'm talking about. Cook plays Commissioner Gordon. He's awesome. He was in Westworld. And yeah, I'm excited for the Batman 2. Hopefully that comes out soon, but I have a feeling it's going to be pushed back until like the later half of the 2020s. And let's catch up with chat here. Connor says, dude, I can't believe some of the stuff they show in Daredevil, dude. Stakes feel so real. Okay, well, I'm going to have to check that out. Prometheus. Yep, I've seen Prometheus. Prometheus was great. Is Prometheus on Disney Plus? That's another really gruesome one, even kind of more so than Alien Romulus, actually. So, yeah. Alien Romulus. That's what I was talking about, Stoned. And Conan Coloruso, Righteous Gemstones Season 4 is what he's been checking out lately as well. And I haven't heard of Righteous Gemstones. There's the dog. I have not heard of Righteous Gemstones and wasn't aware that they even made 4 seasons. So what's that on, Connor? If you guys haven't seen Righteous Gemstones, you really should, my friends. All right, right on. Stone says, dude, I watched some of Righteous Gemstones and it was pretty good. I love John Goodman and Danny McBride. Oh, yeah, those two are classic. John Goodman is great. It's been in so many movies, and Danny McBride is hilarious. So I might have to check that out. Carl Newton says, love Batman and liking Pattinson's portrayal. Me too. The bat suit is also really cool as well. I really like it. It's got kind of like shorter, kind of like curved ears a little bit. Super cool. Just a great movie overall. Andy Serkis is in it. Andy Serkis played Gollum in The Lord of the Rings. He played the live action motion capture for King Kong, and Andy Serkis plays Alfred. So he plays the classic Alfred from Batman, Bruce Wayne's assistant and partner. Yep, Pattinson did good as the Bat. Oh yeah, the Batman 2022 is personally my fave movie of all time. That's awesome, Cook. Cook, do you collect any Batman figures? They actually have a really cool the Batman figure made by Beast Kingdom, and they're on Big Bad Toy Store. Just look up the Batman Beast Kingdom, and it'll pull up right away. And super cool. It's got like 22 points of articulation. Really cool stuff. I just picked up or pre-ordered the Dark Knight and the Batman Begins versions of those figures. So if you really like the Batman, check out the Beast Kingdom Batman figures. I've heard that they're really cool. Connor said, dude, it's so funny, and the new season is incredible of Righteous Gemstones. Well, that's good that it's funny. It's always nice to have shows with a balance, right? Daredevil's got a little bit of a darker tone to it, and Righteous Gemstones has kind of a comedic tone. So always good to have a balance and bounce around between the two. Try and watch Punisher before Daredevil new season. Okay. All right. I saw Punisher on Disney Plus earlier when I was looking through some of their Marvel or their DC stuff. So yeah, I'll definitely check out the Punisher. The Punisher seems pretty dope, and I think it stars that one actor. So many actors we're talking about right now. I can't remember his name. Shane something, I think. I think he's in the Punisher. Connor Colarusso says, excited for the Primitive War movie as well. Primitive War movie as well. I'm not familiar with that one. Stone Mandalorian says, I need to finish Punisher. Connor, you mentioned that Primitive War movie to me. Okay, so Primitive War. Got to check that out. Cook says, I have the Hot Toys, the Batman, and the Mafex, the Batman, but I'll have to check out that figure. Well then, Cook, you already got probably the best if you have the Hot Toys, the Batman. That thing, I can imagine, is so freaking cool and a very centerpiece to your collection. And the fact that you got the Mafex, the Batman, is even better. I was looking up that on Big Bad Toy Store earlier as well and was so bummed that it sold out. Just because some of the other Batmans that I was interested are like only available for pre-order, but I was hoping to get like a live action movie version, maybe like a Christian Bale or the Batman one that you have, but they sold out. So anyway, glad that you got that, Cook, and glad that you have the Hot Toys version as well. Oh yeah, his name is John Bernthal. That's right, not Shane. I think that was maybe his name in The Walking Dead when he played in The Walking Dead, but Stone's right. John Bernthal, I believe, plays the Punisher in the show that we've been talking about this evening. And Carl Newton says, need a gargoyle or similar to perch a Batman on. You know what? The Hot Toys Batman, I think it's the Michael Keaton one, I think comes with like a column with a gargoyle on the column itself, and it looks so cool. Too bad it's like $400, $500. But if they can make it in a smaller scale, like Black Series scale or like Marvel Legends scale, that would be awesome, Carl. And Stone says, I bet that Mafex Batman is insanely fun. I can only imagine, dude. That thing looks so awesome. And just is a Mafex. I mean, I've been having my eyes set on the Mafex Spider-Man, the classic, the number 185, and also the Boba Fett, the Mafex Boba Fett from Return of the Jedi. So yeah, Mafex makes a lot of great stuff, and I've been slowly getting more interested in imports lately. And won't say I'm fully coffee pilled yet, but definitely have some interest in that. Hyperdrive Collections is back. He says, loved Romulus. Yes, Romulus was awesome. Really cool. Kind of similar to how The Force Awakens was to A New Hope. How the Romulus kind of felt like a redo of the first Alien movie with Sigourney Weaver, right? It was really good. So Shane is Walking Dead. Oh, well, hell yeah, Jacob. Yes, I got it right. Right on. Brian says, man, I don't watch any of these shows. Brian, that's okay. No worries, dude. There's so many TV shows out there to watch. It's just absurd to think that you could catch up. Not you personally, but that one could catch up with all the shows out there. But do what I did. Start making a list of things that maybe interest you. If you're interested in like Marvel or DC or any of the superhero stuff, make a list of some of your favorite superheroes and just check out what they got to offer on a lot of this stuff is Disney Plus. Hyperdrive Collection says Daredevil was supreme. And Stone says Hyper is spittin'. Hyperdrive Collections, Hawk Tua. Connor says, you guys should get the NECA Alien Romulus figure. I customized it so it has electric pulses in the front of the dome like in the movie. Oh, that's pretty cool, Connor. That's cool that you got your NECA figure customized. And yeah, I have seen the Alien NECA figure review that you did, and it was really good, Connor. Great job on that, man. And Hyperdrive, I do love me some Batman. Love me some Batman too, man. As Stone would say, that's our bread and butter. Batman is awesome. We all love Batman. Batman is the shit. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Nice. Right on, everybody. Well, I appreciate everybody kind of talking shows and what they're into, what they've been watching and stuff. Troy says, I'm Batman. Connor says, thank you, Jacob. You're welcome, buddy. But yeah, you guys, we've been going for just a little bit over 2 hours. We still have 10 people in the chat. We got Troy. He's back from work. He says, I'm back. Left-Handed Jedi. Golden Girls is worth the price of Disney Plus. Absolutely spitting, dude. Straight up. Golden Girls, I mean, shoot. What are you going to do when if you're not watching Golden Girls? You're missing out. Anyway, you guys are too funny. You're cracking me up. But we've been going for over 2 hours. I really appreciate it. We got 10 people in the chat still, so thank you to everyone for hanging out. We went over some Black Series news tonight. We talked about the the Revenge of the Sith Tactical Ops Trooper that's coming out pretty soon here. Oh, it's actually already, you can pre-order it on Walmart. What am I talking about? So that's pretty cool that that's coming out for the 20th anniversary. We got the Jedi Temple Guard figure that potentially will be coming out pretty soon, as well as the new Chancellor Palpatine and Mace Windu head sculpts. We had a bunch of rumors that we looked over as far as looking into the further part of 2025 as far as Black Series figures go. So that was pretty sweet. We went over the Black Series debate, removable helmets or alternate heads. Which one did the chat prefer? So we know Hasbro can do really good. Oh my goodness. We know Hasbro can do really good alternate heads, and they do removable helmets all the time, so we went over that. That was pretty fun. We also ranked the movies. I will show you your Hyperspace Hangout live stream ranking for the movies. Number 1, Return of the Jedi. 2, Empire Strikes Back. 3, Revenge of the Sith. 4, A New Hope. 5, Phantom Menace. 6, Attack of the Clones. 7, The Force Awakens. 8, The Last Jedi. And 9, The Rise of Skywalker. So that was your live stream ranking of all the Star Wars movies. That was pretty awesome. Went over some recent pickups, and yeah. Left-Handed Jedi says, thanks, man. That was a fun listen. Well, hey, thank you so much for tuning into the stream, Left-Handed Jedi. It really means a lot. First time seeing you in the chat, so hopefully you'll be able to catch future streams. Also, while I have everybody still here before we close out, I started streaming at 5. I've been streaming at 5 for the last 4 streams. Is 5 o'clock a good time? Does this work for everybody? would people prefer if I started later? Say it's 7 o'clock right now. It's 7:05 here on the West Coast. Would people rather that I started later at say 7 o'clock so that we could be going a little bit later into the night, especially as the summer starts and we've already sprung forward, so it's staying light out longer. Would people like to see me push back the streams by a couple hours? Let me know what you think. Commander Cook says, great stream, Cook. Thank you so much for stopping by. Really means a lot. Glad that you're able to drop in. I see you in a bunch of other chats, out of the basement, Monday Night Figure Ball, Stone Mandalorian's chat. So really means a lot that you took the time to come and hang out, my friend. And hopefully you'll be able to catch future streams. Yes, Troy, exactly. I was dropping that helmet all over the place, straight up butterfingers. Stone says, I'll have to catch the beginning of the stream on the replay. I was out at dinner with Mrs. Stoned, my niece, and my grandpa. Right on, man. Well, I hope you had a great stream or a great dinner with the family. He says, great stream, bro. Always fun. Connor, awesome stream. You're one of the best to ever do it, man. Oh, dude, I appreciate that. That means a lot. That's just too kind, Connor. Love you too, brother. You're the best. Carl Newton, cheers, Jacob and chat, and good night. Well, hey, good morning to you, Carl, as it is the morning in the UK. So hopefully you have a good start to your day and your weekend. And thanks again for always coming to hang out and chat with us in the Hyperspace Hangout. It does mean a lot. Stone says, bro, you do what works for you. I'm also here on the East Coast, so it's 10 here at the moment. And that's what I was kind of thinking, was that 5 o'clock works well. I usually go for a couple hours. So by the time I'm ending, it's about 7 o'clock here on the West Coast and 10 o'clock on the East Coast. So depending on how late folks stay up, if you're a night owl or not, that might still be early for you. Hyperdrive Collection says, if anyone is interested, Big Daddy McFarlane is dropping insanely dope Batman figgies, 89 Keaton and Batman Begins. Yes, exactly. In fact, I just pre-ordered the Batman Begins McFarlane and it sold out. The pre-order did, at least on Big Bad Toy Store. So that should actually be arriving tomorrow. And I'm so excited to check that out. So Hyper is spitting. If anyone's interested, McFarlane's dropping a ton of cool Batman figures. So while you have the chance, because McFarlane is losing the license, snag some DC McFarlane multiverse figures. Troy says, whatever works for you, Jacob. Right on, Troy. I appreciate it, man. It means a lot that you tune into the show, especially post-work. I'm sure you got a lot to do and you're tired, so thanks a lot, dude. Gen X Brian says, enjoyed the stream. Thank you, Brian, for always tuning in. I really appreciate you coming in to hang out. It really means a lot that you stopped by to drop your vote for the best Star Wars movies, as well as the rest of the chat too. Thank you all. Timbo says, see ya. Glad I stopped in. Right on, Timbo. Thank you very much for stopping in. It does mean a lot. Appreciate you so much. And everybody go check out Timbo Toys. He's got awesome reviews on his channel and does amazing custom work and dioramas. So, good night, everyone. Have an awesome rest of your Friday. Happy weekend. And as always, may the Force be with you. And with that being said, we will see you in a couple weeks for number 5 of the Hyperspace Hangout. Until next time, I'm Jacob, your host, and I'll see you. Happy toy collecting.